anything. Yeah, we don't have an opener. I feel like let's just go.
We need two things. An intern to post-produce this shit, and someone to create theme music for us.
Yeah.
Because if we use actual music, it gets flagged on YouTube, and then...
I feel like we should just play random music. I don't know why we don't. Season 3, we should start playing random music. Not that stuff that won't get flagged.
Like, just put the phone up to the microphone here. Like,
that is the type of production that we are.
Yeah.
Although maybe we take the money that we've earned this season of the Waft and we reinvest it into some different equipment.
Okay. Well, the equipment I just posted on Instagram. We get some high-tech equipment here. Everything else, very low budget in terms of our planning, in terms of our content.
Maybe we take whatever we earn and invest it towards an intern.
But we've already established the intern. You're not getting paid. Like, this is
so
an investment.
We can pay you the whole $6 that we earned from the episode.
This is an investment in your future because this thing, I should say, is going to take off.
Yeah.
And you want to get on board before it just takes off to the moon.
That's what Elise said when she gave me $1 the first episode. She was like, "Remember us early investors." Mm-hmm. I'm like, yeah, we will. We won't forget you.
We're going to IPO, whatever the stock market is. The Waft. Don't even have it trademarked, so no one steal that shit.
Yeah.
But sex sells, guys. That's how we're going to start this episode.
Yep.
Sex sells. Last week, talked about boners and blowjobs. Double B. Not double D's, which that also sells as well, apparently. But double B's. Is that a thing?
Double D's, yeah.
No, double B's,
Double
though.
B's is not you're just a C.
Okay. But with boners and blowjobs, second most viewed episode of season 2. So apparently sex sells.
Yep.
Luckily, little spoiler alert, I think you get to see Emily's nipple a little later on in this episode.
Oh.
Maybe.
Not in this episode. It's on lock right now.
I was someone paid for it. So
Someone did pay for
it's like
it.
a little teaser.
Yeah.
Yeah, stick around now. What was I going to say? Have you ever had, like, I didn't have coffee on Saturday or Sunday, and then I had a big cup of coffee this morning.
And you're like,
I am fucking wired right now.
Yeah.
Like, I think it's like sex sells. It's like when you haven't had sex in a while or haven't nutted in a while, and then the first time it just happened so quick. Like,
Yeah.
that's me right now. That caffeine hit me, and I am more squirrely than usual.
God. Oh, God.
So bear with us today,
Yeah.
people. But we've had 2 episodes in season 1 and season 2 that have reached 200 views. Will we have a third? Boners and Blowjobs is getting there. We're over 150. Episode 1 of season 2 is at like 170. So tell your friends. Let's
Share
make
the
this
Waft
shit
if
happen.
They need a good laugh.
Yes. Getting into the fuck stick of the week, post-produce. I would just love to have that little list. Maybe we'll recap it on the season finale, which is coming up on episode 13. So this is Eppy 10.
This is Eppy 10. We're in Eppy 10.
We got 3 more after this, people.
Yep.
3 more. But the fuck stick of the week, let's try to explain this in the quickest way possible. Mostly.
Well, here's how I came up with it.
Okay.
Because I was at the drive-thru getting...
Hold on, time out. Fuck stick of the week. Go ahead.
Yes, I was getting Abelardo's, and I was at the drive-thru, and there was a long line. Anyway, the guy was ordering, and I was right behind him. He ordered, and then he pulled up, and I could pull up, but I couldn't get close enough to the thing to order, and he had a ton of room in front of him. If he had pulled up, I would have been able to order. So that is a total fuck stick if you're not paying attention to like, oh, hey, the person behind me needs me to move up so that she can move forward 5 inches and be able to order her food. Total fuck stick move.
Yes, okay. I think I can clip that.
Yeah.
All I think about when we record this is what
Clips.
can I clip
Yes.
to put on Instagram and Facebook.
But it's not just drive-throughs.
It's not just drive-thrus. It's also, we've all been there where you're coming up to a light and turning one way or turning the other way, and that same person who is a fuck stick has a massive amount of room in front of them, and they just come to a stop and start playing with their phone like a slapdick, and they don't slapdick, new term, use it, it's great. Stolen from Coach JB off of, what's the show on Netflix?
Hard Knocks?
Not Hard Knocks.
Last Chance You.
Last Chance You. So slapdick and fuckstick, both stolen from him, both great terms. But anyway, if you are at that light and you don't pull forward to the car in front of you, so then the people behind you want to get to the turn lane, there's tons of people trying to get that turn lane, or there's like no line there because that one person is being a fuckstick
Didn't pull up all the way.
and won't pull forward, or isn't paying any attention.
Yep.
So in summary,
Or like when you go to make, a right a right turn and someone's going straight and there isn't a right turn lane, but if you have a Mini Cooper and you can squeeze by them if they just move up a little bit, but they're not paying attention and they don't move up, so then you have to wait for them to go straight when the light turns green before you can turn right. Total fuck stick.
So in summary, if you are driving,
just pay attention.
And you do not pull up so someone can get around you to make a turn or can get up to make an order at a drive-through, you are a fuckstick.
Yes.
And a slapdick.
And a slapdick.
There we go. I summarized that well. That's going to be a good clip. We can make that happen. Good. It's a good segue, I think, to here. Nope, we're not there yet. I'm actually prepared this week. Ooh. Episode 11, like we mentioned, we got 3 episodes left after this. We have a sponsor for this week, so we just keep on moving on up to the east side, like the Jeffersons. Not many people are going to get that reference. But episode 11, $7, lucky number $7 sponsor is what we're looking for.
Yep.
We've almost made $100 this season.
I'm honestly fucking shocked. People just, it's like we were talking about with Sandra and she gave us a charitable donation. People just pity us and they're like, I feel bad for you that you have no money and so we're just going to pay you $7 so that you can go get a Costco hot dog.
Yeah, so Sandra's been a sponsor at like $3 and then she just sent us $10 because she's like...
It's a charitable donation.
She
should be able to write it off
that's
on
a tax.
taxes.
That's a tax write-off. And also we probably shouldn't be talking about almost making $100 because now
then
the IRS is going to come after us.
Yeah, just kidding. We haven't made that money.
Not a lot. We also had an anonymous $50 donation for this week and all the moving weeks forward. So thanks, Mary.
Oh, man. I think that's a good segue into the Eppy 10 sponsor because...
Which we haven't got yet, by the way. I think it's in the mail today.
Yeah. But because Mary gave us the $50...
She's anonymous.
Yeah, right. And said, like, the Waft, keep it going. And this was after the BJ episode.
Yeah. So sex sells, once again.
So, to the naysayers...
Episode 10,
Eppy
10 sponsor, Pamela Harborn.
She finally stepped up.
We talk
about her every week. She finally paid.
And she went $10.
$10, yeah.
So not just the $6.
It was out of pure laziness. She didn't want to write a $6 check. So she was like, she has to mail it to us. So she was like, I'm going to give you $10 and mail a check.
That shit better not bounce because we're about to talk about her. So if that bounces, we will have to go in and re-record this. Sounds like way too much work. But, Pamela, you are the sponsor of Eppy 10, which we don't believe is a disease. It just sounds like one. And Pam would like us to cut back on the cursing or maybe stop the cursing. And as the sponsor of Eppy 10, Pam, tough shit. We're going to keep fucking doing it.
Yeah.
That's who we are.
Yeah. I asked her if she had any topics she wanted us to talk about. And initially, she obviously laughed at the blowjob episode, but didn't love it.
She wasn't supposed to watch it anyway.
She wasn't supposed to watch it. So
Neither was my mom.
But she is obviously of an older generation, her and my father, who happened to catch a glimpse of me talking about blowjobs, so I'm just mortified. But they're from an older generation. Like, I remember when I got my tattoo when I was 18, and they were like, you're never going to get a job because you have a tattoo on your wrist, and no one's going to hire you. And that is, like, the old way of thinking. Now everyone has a tattoo. And so in their mind, talking about blowjobs is, like, going to compromise our job, or members are going to quit because we curse and we talk about blowjobs, and it's going to compromise our business, which I get from, like, an old way of thinking. But for us, our number one rule of the Waft is to be authentic. We're like the Kardashians. We don't fake shit. So that was their whole thing in the beginning of the show, that they were going to record everything and be real life. I mean, not in the end, but we are authentic. And so if you don't like us cursing or you don't like us talking about blowjobs, then don't listen to the podcast. We're not going to change who we are because some people might not like it. We're not forcing you to watch it. If you're a member, we don't say, oh, you have to watch the Waft. That's your choice. And if you don't like the way we speak or like the things we talk about, then you don't have to listen, but we shouldn't have to sacrifice who we are in order to be, like, accepted.
There's a million other podcasts, vlogs out there, and it's kind of like social media. I want to keep this positive, but it's just like everything you see out there and, like, keyboard warriors attacking other people. Like, at the end of the day, life's too short to worry about shit that, like, bothers you. Guess what? you have a million other outlets. Just
Yeah.
go watch those and don't let
Right.
something small fucking
It's
bug you.
literally in the title, it said like blowjobs. So
Yeah.
if you see that and you're automatically like, I don't want to listen to talk about blowjobs, well then don't listen.
Yeah.
Or if you listen to episode 1 and you know that we curse a lot, well then maybe this isn't the podcast for you. But we shouldn't have to censor ourselves because you don't like cursing. Well then you are not our viewer. You're not our audience.
Yeah.
And I thought it was very interesting because we posted on Facebook and
You guys, thank God I'm from Columbus, Nebraska, and people know that I'm just like some dumb kid raised on the south side of Columbus. You, on the other hand,
yeah, I mean, I'm from
you got the backlash.
place in Washington, D.C. where basically it's doctors, lawyers, politicians, and those are all of our family friends. And Emily Harborn having a podcast about blowjobs is not what is expected of me. And so I did get a lot of backlash. I think I'm also a female. And guys can talk about jerking off. It's expected.
You think you're a female?
No, I think it's
you
because
are.
I'm a
Okay.
female. And so guys are like, they're dudes. They're allowed to talk about that. But a woman probably shouldn't talk about that because it's like unsophisticated and unladylike. Just like how I shouldn't curse. And so I got backlash being like, wow, this is not what I like expected of you. And that just gets me. Like, if I did what was expected of me,
You wouldn't be in this room.
I would literally be living in Washington, D.C., married to some, like, doctor or politician, had, like, 3 kids with a 9-to-5 that I hate, and fucking miserable.
And I wouldn't have this nipple pass.
Exactly. Like, I wouldn't be living my dream every day if I did what was expected of me. And so just those little, like, comments from people being like, wow, like, this is inappropriate, or this isn't what I expected. I'm just like, you don't do what's expected. Create a life that is better than what's expected.
I just thought of this. Create your own expectations.
Yeah.
That's like to
You
sum it
should
up.
set your own expectations.
No one else should
set them for you.
Yeah, no one
Yeah.
else should set your expectations.
Right.
Intern that's not watching this, timestamp that as a clip and also possible name for this episode. Set your own expectations.
Yeah.
There we go.
So the blowjob episode created a lot of very interesting discussions.
Well, it's interesting because you have the older generation of people saying like, "Oh, didn't expect that from you." Oh, it's fuck off. Like that's who we are. We're authentic, and that's us. And if you haven't figured that out by now, the other episodes, or just by the title of it, it's like that's your problem, not ours.
Yeah.
And also, sorry to cut you off. The other thing was it brought up a lot of feedback I think that you got that it was just like, oh, I don't have to put a dick in my mouth.
Honestly, I feel like I am a revolutionary for female pleasure. And that's my new goal because I got so many text messages from people being like, yes, I feel the same way. Like I talk about it with my husband, or I wish I could talk about it with my husband. And yeah, I feel like women, again, guys can talk about this shit. They can talk about jerking off. They can talk about all the things. There's commercials for ED shit all the time. But there's nothing that talks about female pleasure or female, sexuality. And it's just like a taboo topic. Like you're a lady, you shouldn't talk about that. Well, fuck off. My pleasure is just as important as yours. And I feel like sometimes it's like all about pleasuring the male and doing things to help the male be sexually ready, but nothing for the female. And it's super frustrating. Like I was listening to this podcast. I didn't know that there's 26 erectile dysfunction drugs for males, FDA approved. You know how many for women? Fucking 0. So you can have all the drugs to help you get hard, but God forbid I have anything to help me get ready.
I'm not taking any of those drugs. She's just saying if needed.
If needed.
Let's clarify
we already
that.
clarified that I start making out with you and getting a boner last week.
Yes.
So we know that that's not a problem right now as a 32-year-old.
Yes, I might be getting a few grays we noticed yesterday, but no hard issues.
But when you're 50 or whatever, 60,
I have drugs.
You have you have 26 different drugs, and I have nothing. So you know what? Yeah, we should talk about shit like this because no one else does.
It's kind of like the fuck stick of the week. Whatever episode that was in, like 2 or 3, when we talked about parking enforcement, holy shit. Yeah. That was just like
Everyone was like, oh my God, yes.
We need something to talk about, and now that has blown up and just been a thing all season long. So I kind of feel like we have over 100 viewers. How many of those are duplicates? I don't know. Maybe we're up to 20 listeners or watchers now. But either way, I feel like there's a small group that we are like the voice of the voiceless, or they just, people have these opinions and don't want to speak.
People are scared to say it because they don't want to speak up.
Yeah.
But it's like, I think we don't have a problem speaking up because I am living my dream every single day. Like we love what we do. We love the people around. We love each other. And so it's like, yeah, we should talk about this stuff because why not?
Yeah. It's what you said.
So, thank you, Pam Harborn, for that great topic for Eppy 10.
Yeah.
The Waft would be nothing without Pam Harborn, honestly. She's great fodder. You don't know what that word is, but...
Fodder?
Fodder.
Fodder?
Yeah.
Can you spell that?
I can't.
Can you use it in a
Pam
sentence?
Harborn will know what fodder means, and that's all that matters.
I prefer the term slapdick.
That is expected of me, my great vocabulary, so there you go.
Yep. I have it listed here, but it's kind of in line with what you said. And I think we talked about it, like the supposed to's of marriage, supposed to taking the husband's last name, supposed to have kids, or like that show we were watching yesterday, the gymnastics show, when the mom's like, oh, you're 16, you can do the Olympics this year and then have kids, at 32. It's just like it's not your responsibility, Mom, to say when we're having kids or if we're gonna have kids. Like I'm gonna set the expectations.
You because I feel like you used to have dreams of like the house and the family and the kids. So probably, Cindy, this is my fault, but I have a big fuck you for supposed tos, and that's been my whole life. Like I don't want to do what I'm supposed to do. Like fuck that. I want to live a life that's extraordinary and puts fire in my soul every day.
This is, I like when this happens, when we kind of go off script. Challenging the norm. I remember when I was working for Budweiser in Louisville, it was just like something happened and it just, a light bulb went off. I go, fuck that. Like, just because everyone else does it that way doesn't mean it's right.
Yep.
Like, sometimes you have to form your own opinion or actually think about things critically on your own to be like, there's this side of the fence that my brain just kind of go over here and see what's there. Might be wrong, might not be, but just form your own opinion on it and just kind of see what happens.
Or you just don't have to do things just because that's the way it is. Like, I could be Emily Coulter right now, but I could also be Emily Harborn. And is our love any different?
No.
Is our life any different?
It's a name on a piece of paper.
Exactly. So it's like, why do you do it just because you're supposed to?
Great questions.
Yeah.
Not so great answers. Or maybe they are. Who knows? We will leave you on a little story. Meant to talk about this last week.
Oh, man.
So we're getting ready for bed, and I just start coughing hysterically. And I think I choked on, I took a sip of water, went down the wrong tube, or whatever happened. I'm just coughing my lungs out. Possibly gonna die. Possibly exaggerating this, but possibly gonna die. My beautiful wife here is in bed. And what does she say? As I'm trying to cough and walk out the bedroom door, she goes, "Watch out for Macklemore."
Why this makes me laugh so much is because it was so fucking authentic.
She was serious. She did not. Hey babe, you okay?
No,
hey babe, you okay? Do you need something?
Right in the doorway, peeping in, and I was just waiting for him to come jump on the bed. And so all my focus was on Macklemore and getting him to come snuggle. Dwight starts coughing, whatever, choking,
dying,
and he walks towards the door, and I know he's gonna scare my little Mackle away. So that literally the first thing that came out was "Watch out for my little Mackle," and then he looks at me and he's like, "Are you fucking serious?" And I was like, "Yeah, that actually was fully." Serious.
It wasn't a joke.
No, first thing just authentically out of my mouth was to watch out for Michael. But I tell you, you're number 2. I mean, number 3-ish.
I'm fully aware of where I stand.
Yeah, especially after that.
But the fact that just came out naturally, I was like, are you fucking kidding me?
Yeah. Watch out for my little Michael. He was trying to come snuggle, and your coughing interrupted him. So, yeah.
Well, before we get out of here, anonymous, it's starting to lag. Good thing we're getting out of here. An anonymous donor, Mary, she paid $50. We said it a few episodes ago. It's been the topic all season. $50 for a nipple.
For a nipple? Okay, great. That's all I got.
Censored. Hey, editor, make sure those kind of actually go hand in hand. All right, that's all we got. $7 for episode 11. We got 3 left in the season. Peace out, Cubby Scouts.
Damn.